All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production.
All right, now,
but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Set! Green, 39!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cameron Hayward. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. This is taken at the 15. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Leopard! Leopard! 4 down, 4 down. 57 for Mike. 57 for Mike.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Finding room at the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This one complete, right side to McDonald. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Rudolph. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a first down. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. On 1st down, it's Rosen. He rifles one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're saying right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts and make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. 19 yards that time for number 19. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jonathan Bostic leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Rosen. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Bud Dupree in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Rosen, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. With it is Brown. Oh, some strong running. Nearly a huge return. As it is, still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Leopard! Leopard! Hey! Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rudolph on 1st down. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Cardinals. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. If they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Detroit! Detroit!
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. Flush to his right. And that is caught. touchdown Cardinals. In for the score. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st. Rudolph. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 41 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here comes a 1st down throw from Rudolph. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. 2nd and 10, Rudolph again. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Rudolph throwing again. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Bell. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Play action. It's Rudolph. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
4 down, 4 down.
Now Rudolph with 3rd and goal. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. More from the desert after this. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Brown. Brown with his stick skills. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now Rudolph. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Chandler Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Rosen again on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And still fighting. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Rosen will throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation...
Now the ball comes loose. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's got room. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
We got 4. We got 4. Now let's go.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's Rudolph off play action. He's going deep for Brown. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Boswell for the extra point. And now it's blocked. The Cardinals pick it up. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys.
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now, 1st and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Lucky 56.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Throw left side complete. That's Bell. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. And some room to run now. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Rosen. And Gresham has it left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long here for Rosen. And he's got Gresham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are in. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. 4th down. Here's Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The give is to Bell. And now running right through him. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rudolph on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, they scared.
On third down. That's Connor. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, it's Rosen again. It's caught on the right side, Williams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now let's go.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw is Rosen. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a
try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3 down.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
You got 3 down.
Connor. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
3 down. Hot! 41 Hot!
They'll run it with Bell. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Detroit!
A give to Bell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down. That's Bell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier,